I don't know. I think they were enormous, fantastic. When I was on set, I was like almost crying every day, especially when the vet scenes and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's as you say, this is a movie that are emotional. It's a movie for everyone, especially it's a family movie. You should bring your family for this one, 100%.
Okay, hi Michael, how are you? Nice to meet you. My name is Romina Pereira. I'm from Malditos Nerds Infobae here in Argentina, and I love the movie. It was very touching for me. I have a lot of rescue cats. One of my cats was sick at the moment I saw the movie, so it was very emotional for me to see all the process you did with Arthur and your personal journey. For those who don't know your story, can you tell us a little bit of what it is we are going to see in Arthur?
Oh, Arthur the King is based on the book I wrote, and it's about a dog that lives in Ecuador, and we are there racing the world championship, and we stumble into this small village, and I'm eating meatballs because I had to refuel because of the next stage. We were traveling through the jungle, and when I do that, I feel someone is looking at me, and I turn my head to the left, and I can see this stray dog just look at me, and first of all, I was like, "Don't come close to me," because I was in the middle of the race, and I don't have time, and I didn't want, he was bleeding from the back and everything, so he wasn't in good shape, and I was like, okay, I don't have time for this, but he just stood there, so I gave him some meatballs from the ones that I was eating, and then we just ran out from the stage to the jungle, and he took, maybe I gave him 10 seconds, 10-15 seconds of attention, then I just ran into the jungle, or on the road away to jungle, and then it took an hour or so, and we looked back if you can see any other teams following it, but we didn't see any teams, but we saw this dog, and I didn't understand that it was the same dog I was giving the meatballs. So it took a little bit more while, and then he came close, and then I recognized him, and no, he was so like into following us, and I talked to him like we're going to the jungle and everything, and yeah, but he was just with us, and in a way, we get lost in the jungle and everything. And I remember in the morning, I sat down on a log and I asked the other teams, "Do you have anything more to eat?" Because we were starving and we were like no energy left. And then Simon team he took up like two of these meatballs. I grab it, I grab it, I grab it a bite, and then Simon, but no one, the other team won't, because behind me, Arthur, he already got the name Arthur. He was like laying down, and without even like talking about it, it was more like, okay, he should have the food. So we gave him all the food, and then we continue. We almost didn't make it, and then if you see in the movie, I don't want to spoil the movie, but it was a huge paddling stage section at the end, and we start paddling, and he didn't give up. So he just jumped in the water after us, and we had to stop, and I took him in my lap, and that was all. That was kind of the make it a breaking point when he was in my lap.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that scene later, because it was very emotional, and it was clearly the point that changed your life forever, also Arthur's. So we are going to go there. But first, I want to ask you, how is it to wake up one day and realize that Mark Wahlberg is playing you in a movie?
Yeah, it's Mark Wahlberg is a fantastic person. Is a fantastic what call it? He's a fantastic actor. He's a good guy, 100%, and to get portrayed by him is you can't even have it as a dream, because it's about what you can dream and think about.
Yeah.
But it's this is one of the things that doesn't really happen. So I'm super lucky for that, of course, and I think that Mark came on board on this project and pushed through. Without him, we wouldn't have I don't think we would have a movie today. So I'm super grateful that he loved the story and my life and Arthur, and I think he did extremely good job. I don't I don't know if you agree with me, but I think
Yeah,
like
he sold
especially
me. He sold me all the emotions. I was there with him. I was living the moment. I was living with you the moment, but played by Arthur and by Mark. And I really sense also the relationship between this Arthur that is not Arthur. I think it's called Ikea, right? The
Yukai.
Ukaya. And how was it for you to see Ukaya, because he's very similar to Arthur, and seeing him coming to life and representing your relationship with Mark, but seeing that on screen and also on the setting?
It was to be honest, it was like seeing Arthur again. They were like twins. And some of the days when, especially when Arthur get his name in the movie, it was super hard for me. I remember I was crying underneath my my sunglasses, and so yeah, it was super emotional for me to be on set and to see the movie develop and see the actors kind of play this part of my life, and it was amazing, and I think that's how they portrayed everything and how Yukai played Arthur. I think that really come through the screen, and especially for people that have known the story from before, it's gonna they're gonna think that Art is playing himself.
Well, your family, I imagine, when they saw the movie, it was something like not only seeing his dad on screen, but also seeing Arthur again. How was it for your family to see him again?
Yeah, the thing is like obviously I've seen the movie in different shapes during the years, but to see it in the big scene, the big screen is totally something else. And I'm so glad that we can see it on the big screen, because now we can the emotion, everything gets so much better. And for us, my kids, they didn't want to see anything before we saw the movie on the big screen for the first time, and I think it took like 3 or 4 minutes before Philippa, she like start to start to get very emotional and tearful. And I think that's the thing with this movie. It's a sports movie from the start, but then it changed, and I would say the last 30 minutes of this movie is emotional roller coaster, and if you not get touched of this movie, it's I don't know what you can get touched with. I'm super proud of what I can see, and how the movie turned out.
Yeah, I think even if you don't love animals as much as you do and I do, I think you're going to feel something. Otherwise, it's going to be, I don't know, your whole inside. It's going to be weird.
Yeah.
You say it's a sport movie, but it's also a very emotional movie. How much were you involved during the shooting? Because you can see that they are really pushing to the limits to make you feel like you are there on an adventure race with them, even though I have never done anything closer to that, but I felt the tension.
Yeah, so actually start a month before we start shooting, we to get the gear right. The team have a lot of the same brands I used to use when I was racing, and we tried to get it so close as possible. And yeah, so that also even the set decks, how everything looked, and also how the dress, the bib wests are totally 100% replicas, and so it's I think that was super important. And also the training with the actors, to get everyone paddling correctly and biking and running with the backpacks and drinking at the same time, and stuff like that. But to work with those talent, actors, it was a huge pleasure. And also on set to work with Simon, director, and how we like really always driven to get it perfect. It was fantastic.
You really did. You all did a really good job. The kayak scene, that moment. Well, we're not gonna spoil it too much, but it was a very emotional moment. I was crying. I heard people crying, and it was a press show. So when press go, they don't get so emotional, but everyone was crying at the moment. Do you think the movie got to capture those raw emotions that you felt at that moment that changed your life forever and also changed Arthur's life?
Yes, 100%. The book and the movie is not really. It's a movie. The team is from US. We are from Sweden, and it's in DR. But in the real life, it was Ecuador. And if you take that part away, and it's. I think the movies came. I think I think it's come through. I think you agree with me, but I think the emotion were there, and the best part, the super close, the sets when when it was, especially when Mark is have those scenes with Yukai and Arthur is I don't know. I think they was enormous, fantastic. When I was on set, I was like almost crying every day, especially when the vet scenes and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's as you say, this is a movie that are emotional. It's a movie for everyone, especially it's a family movie. You should bring your family for this one, 100%.
Yeah, 100%. Last question, and really quick. Why do you think people should see this movie? You kind of answered that, but to make it more special.
Yeah, it's. I think today, especially I'm come from Europe. We have a lot of things happen here in Europe around this top point now, and I think people needs a feel good movie now. And this is Arthur the King is a feel good movie, and I think everyone needs that. And take the chance to take your family, buy some popcorn and Coca Cola, and take those 1.5 hour and have a good time. I think you will not regret yourself.
I agree. I totally agree. Michael, I have to go, but thank you so much for this interview. It's been amazing talking to you. You have an amazing story, and thank you for sharing that story to the world, not only with the book and but also a movie. And I hope Arthur is probably really proud of everything.
Thank you.
Thank you.